Welcome to Classic Game Room, broadcasting from the Intergalactic Space Arcade, but not content with the Intergalactic Space Arcade. TJ went out and started to build his own arcade. The first machine that you collected is the Nintendo PlayChoice 10. Where did you find this thing?
Craigslist. You wouldn't believe it, but they actually have a section for the Oort Cloud. The hardware itself is from '86 and actually took a number of different forms. There was a 2-monitor cabinet that actually had 2 screens, one on top of the other. The bottom one would have the actual gameplay, and the top would have how much time you have remaining. Since each credit didn't buy you a continue, it bought you time on the machine, as well as hints, controls for each of the 10 different games that you could play, as well as the game select screen. And there were also conversion kits for most of the Nintendo cabinets. Mine was originally a blue-paneled Donkey Kong cabinet that was later adapted to a Versus Duck Hunt machine, which at that time, that's when they installed the light gun, and then that was switched over to a PlayChoice 10, so it can work with Duck Hunt as well as Hogan's Alley or Wild Gunman.
So does this thing come with an NES built into it? Or is it like the Neo Geo, the SNK Neo Geo with the cartridge slots, or what is this?
It's not as convenient as the Neo Geo arcade cabinets. This one actually has slightly altered PCBs for each of the games.
It's not a cartridge.
It's not a cartridge, it's actually a little daughter board that fits onto the main PCB for the PlayChoice.
So this is a very unique arcade machine. And I don't ever recall seeing one of these, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they were a little bit out of the way, but when they were really in swing, they were fantastic breeding grounds for interest in Nintendo software, and third parties lined up around the block to try to get their games in, whether it was Konami with Gradius and Castlevania. Capcom had a couple games in, like 1942 and Mega Man 3. You had Technos with Nintendo World Cup and Double Dragon. Tecmo had Tecmo Bowl in the Ninja Gaiden series.
If you can imagine the look of joy on TJ's face when a new JRPG comes out, triple that, which is the look he had in his face when he told me he bought a Nintendo PlayChoice 10 machine. I thought you were going to jump through the roof. And what's funny is that you're a good bit taller than me, and I'm 6'2", and I find the Donkey Kong machines too small. Personally, they're very, you have to like lean way over. So, do you have like a little stool that you can sit on and play this thing?
Actually, I have a chair that's kind of perfectly sized for it, but I may end up just putting the entire cabinet on like a 1-foot tall pedestal, just lift it up, set it on, and take care of that problem entirely.
It's hard to tell, but he's about 8 feet tall. You don't even have to jump off the ground. The donkey just goes. Blur. Now, when you play this thing, are you limited by the amount of time the machine gives you? Do you have yours set for free play, like the Centipede machine back here, or do you actually have to put quarters into it, like the Rolling Thunder machine over here?
Well, mine's actually set to free play, which is a good thing too, because it's loaded up with some longer games. Unless you're really spamming the heck out of warp whistles, you're not going to be able to 1-credit clear Mario 3. It's just not going to happen.
But these are the full versions of the games, right?
They are.
So, from the practical sense, is there any reason to buy one of these instead of an NES?
Collector's value? There are some differences in some of the games, like with the PlayChoice Punch-Out machine, it'll actually save your initials and show you the top 10 times for defeating every one of the fighters throughout the course of the game. It has its own battery backup, so that'll stay even if you turn the machine off and on.
But do you get better graphics on Gradius compared to, say, the NES?
No, but you do get a really nice arcade joystick feel. You can hear every one of the cherry switches on the buttons, and it just gives you a little bit more of the ambiance.
Well, I understand the feel of an arcade machine is really what you're paying for when you buy an arcade machine, because Centipede back here's only got one game. It's Centipede, but it's got the look, the feel, and to me it's priceless. And to you, I can certainly get the sense this is a priceless purchase. So congratulations on the PlayChoice 10.
Thank you.
And I guess we'll never see him again.
I would love to see Mega Man 9 on it.
News break! Nintendo drops Wii U, goes back to PlayChoice 10. Now called the PlayChoice 11.
It's one louder.